press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello, good afternoon children. Subject Social Science, topic Tulunadu and Hyderabad, Karnataka. Okay, the new lesson Kodagu, Kittur, Tulunadu and Hyderabad, Karnataka. Kodagu, Kittur and Tulunadu. Kittur, Tulunadu and Hyderabad, Karnataka. Class 6th. Okay, see here Kodagu, Kitturu, Tulunadu and Hyderabad, Karnataka. Okay, in this lesson we study about smaller regions is important as the study of kingdoms and empires of Karnataka, mainly for two reasons. The regional history touches the people more closely, isn't it? And it helps us to get a comprehensive view of Karnataka history. Keeping this in mind, this lesson takes up a regional history of Kodagu, Kittur, Tulunadu and Hyderabad, Karnataka. Okay, in this lesson we discuss the important events in the history of Karnataka and the history of Kodagu. Okay, and then we study about fight of Rani Channamma of Kitturu and her follower Sangolli Rayanna against the British. They fought against the Britishers. Okay, and then we study about culture and contribution of Tulunadu. Okay, and then the revolts of the people of Hyderabad, Karnataka against the British, the local zamindars and the Nizam. These all aspects we study about in this lesson. Okay, children, first we study about Kodagu. We know about Kodagu. Okay, Kodagu district. Kodagu district lies on the slopes of the Western Ghats. Understood, children? Where it is lies lies, children? Kodagu district lies on the slopes of Western Ghats. Okay, most people in this district, they speak which language? They speak Kodava and Arebhashe languages. Okay, which are the languages of Kodagu people, children? They speak in which languages, children? They speak in Kodagu and then Arebhashe languages. Okay, once again listen here. Kodagu people in this district, they speak which language? Kodagu language or Kodava language. They speak in Kodava language and then they speak in Arebhashe language. They use which language, children? Kodava. Kodava and Arebhashe. Okay, Arebhashe. Arebhashe languages. They are speaking in Kodava and Arebhashe languages. Okay, here we see very important thing is River Kaveri. Isn't it, children? River Kaveri is the lifeline of Karnataka. Which is the lifeline of Karnataka? River Kaveri. River Kaveri. Kaveri is the lifeline of Karnataka. Which is the lifeline of Karnataka, children? Kaveri river. Which river? River Kaveri. River Kaveri is the lifeline of which state? Karnataka state. Okay, this is very important. Okay, listen here carefully. river Kaveri is the lifeline of Karnataka. It takes birth. Where it takes birth, children? Okay. Which is the birthplace of this river, Kaveri river? It takes birth at Talakaveri in Kodagu. Talakaveri. Kaveri river birthplace is Talakaveri. It takes birth at Talakaveri. Talakaveri in Kodagu. Once again, listen here, children. Now we are discussed about Kodagu district, isn't it? Kodagu district is very famous, isn't it, children? Yes. In Kodagu, we see Kodagu people. They are speaking in which language, children? They are speaking in Kodava and Are Bhashe languages. Okay. And then we see here, river Kaveri is the lifeline of Karnataka. Which is the lifeline of Karnataka, children? River Kaveri is the lifeline of Karnataka. Okay, clear. Next, this Kaveri river, where it takes birth, children? It takes birth at Talakaveri in Kodagu. Okay, Talakaveri is worshipped by the people, worshipped by the lakhs of people. This Talakaveri is worshipped by the lakhs of people. Understood? And then Kodagu is rich in forest wealth. It is rich in forest. Well, here we see dense forest. Okay. The Nagarahole National Park is in Kodagu. Where it is, children? In Kodagu we see Nagarahole National Park. It is very important. Listen here carefully. Nagarahole. In Kodagu we see Nagarahole National Park. National Park. It is in where, children? In Kodagu. Where we see Nagarahole National Park? In Kodagu district. In Kodagu we see Nagarahole National Park. Okay, which dynasty here ruled? Okay, now we talk about the history of Kodagu. Okay, the Haleri dynasty. Here we see which dynasty, children? Haleri dynasty. Haleri dynasty. Okay, Haleri dynasty, it is the major dynasty that ruled in Kodagu. Okay, in Kodagu, which dynasty ruled, children? Haleri dynasty ruled in Kodagu. Okay. Next, in which century? In 17th century. In the beginning of 17th century, which dynasty ruled here, children? Haleri dynasty ruled in Kodagu. Okay. Who are the very famous? Who was the founder of this dynasty? Who was the founder of Haleri dynasty in Kodagu? Veeraraja. Veeraraja was the founder of this dynasty. Who was the founder of this dynasty, children? Veeraraja. Veeraraja was the founder of Haleri dynasty. Okay, he founded Haleri dynasty in which place? Kodagu. In which place, children? Kodagu. Once again, Veeraraja founded Haleri dynasty. Later, Muddu Raja. Who? Muddu Raja built Muddu Rajakeri. Who built Muddu Rajakeri, children? Who built? Muddu Raja. Muddu Raja. He built Muddu Rajakeri. Muddu Rajakeri. Okay. Muddu Rajakeri and made it his capital. Which who made Muddu Rajakeri his capital, children? Muddu Raja. He built Muddu Rajakeri and then he made it his capital. Okay, which was the capital of Haleri dynasty? Muddu Rajakeri was the capital of Haleri dynasty in Kodagu. Okay, and then Muddu Rajakeri later became Madikeri. Now we are calling Madikeri, isn't it, children? But Madikeri's original name is Muddu Rajakeri. Who built this capital, children? Muddu Raja. Muddu Raja built Muddu Rajakeri and later it became Madikeri. It became Madikeri. Okay. Madikeri. Once again, listen here children. Now we talk about Kodagu. We discussed here about Kodagu. Okay, in Kodagu we see which languages they use children. They are using Kodava and Arabhasha languages, and then river Kaveri is the lifeline of Karnataka. Okay, Talakaveri is the birthplace of river Kaveri. It is in Kodagu. Okay, Talakaveri in Kodagu. Okay, Talakaveri, what children it is? It is the birthplace of which river? River Kaveri. Okay, and then we see here in Kodagu we see Nagarahole National Park also. And then now we talk about the history of Kodagu. In Kodagu district, which dynasty ruled children? Haleri dynasty ruled in Kodagu. Who was the founder of this dynasty? Veeraraja was the founder of this Haleri dynasty. Okay, here we see Muddu Raja, he built Muddu Raja Keri, okay, and then he made it his capital. This Muddu Raja Keri, later it became Madikeri, okay, yes. Kodagu was ruled by Hyder Ali and Tippu Sultan also, okay. In Kodagu, who ruled here children? Hyder Ali and Tippu Sultan also ruled in Kodagu, okay. They ruled Kodagu, and then the second half of the century, what happened during this time? Veeraraja of Kodagu. Kodagu was the prisoner of Tippu Sultan. Tippu Sultan, he defeated the Veeraraja and he captured this capital, captured the Kodagu, and then he prisoned the Veeraraja. Okay, who prisoned children? Tippu Sultan. He captured the Kodagu and then Veeraraja prisoner of Tippu Sultan. After escape, but what happened children? Veeraraja escaping this prison, and then after escaping from Tippu Sultan, Veeraraja regained his kingdom. After escaping, what happened? Veeraraja, he regained his kingdom with the help of the Britishers. Okay, he took help from Britishers and then he regained his kingdom. Who children? Veeraraja. After the death of Tippu Sultan, again the kings of Kodagu and Britishers remained in good terms. Next, Kodagu and the British. Here we see the relationship between the Kodagu and British. Okay, later on the British captured Kodagu in which year? 1834, and deported Chikka Veera Rajendra from Kodagu and started their direct rule. They divided Kodagu by making Amara Surya, which was part of Kodagu, a part of Canara district. The revolt of Amara Surya seized the peasant. Now we talk about, it is very important children, the revolt of Amara Surya. Amara Surya. What it is mean? What is this children? The peasants of Amara Surya, the farmers of Amara Surya found it hard to bear the heavy burden of land tax. It means what children? The Britishers, they fixed heavy taxes for the farmers in Amara Surya. Okay, that's why Amara Surya peasants, they did not pay these heavy land taxes. That's why they revolt against the Britishers. They fought against the Britishers. Okay, they rose in an armed revolt against the British. They resolved to drive out the British from Kodagu. They fought against the British and to drive out the British from Kodagu. The revolt which broke out in which year children? 1837. It is known as the Amara Surya revolt. Understood? What is the Amara Surya revolt children? Yes, here we see the peasants of Amara Surya, they did not pay the heavy taxes for the Britishers. That's why they rose. Here we see they rose in an armed revolt against the British. They resolved to drive out the British from Kodagu. That's why they started the revolt against the British. It is known as Amara Surya revolt. The rebels held Surya, Puttur, Kasargod and Mangaluru for 13 days. However, the British succeeded in suppressing the revolt and sent several rebels to the gallows. The main leaders of the revolt were Puttabasappa, Kalyana Swami and Guddemane Appaya Gowda. Okay. Next, freedom struggle in Kodagu. Kodagu people, they participated in freedom struggle in India, the freedom struggle of India. Okay. The nationalists of Kodagu actively participated in freedom struggle. After independence for a while, Kodagu remained as a separate state. But in 1956, Kodagu was merged with Karnataka. Two outstanding sons of Kodagu. They were very famous. Kodagu is known outside India mainly on account of its illustrious son General Kodendra Madappa Maddappa Kariyappa. During the British rule, Kariyappa was the first Indian general of the Indian Army. Okay, he was also the chief Indian Army, Navy and Air Force of independent India. Who children? Kodendra Maddappa Kariyappa. Okay, he was the during the British period. What happened? He was also the chief of Indian Army, Navy, and Air Force of independent India. He is known for his administrative acumen, courage, and bravery. He was the recipient of the highest rank, Field Marshal. Okay, open your book, children. Page number 88. See here, Field Marshal K.M. Kariyappa. K.M. Kariyappa means Kodendra Madappa Kariyappa. Okay, and then another great patriot of Kodagu was General Kodendra Subbaya Timmayya. Okay, he brought victory to the nation in the war between India and Pakistan. These are two outstanding sons of Kodagu. Though Kodagu is generally identified with its military powers, it is also well known for sports, adventure, folklore, and scenic beauty. Okay, understood, children? Next, we talk about Kitturu. Next, Kitturu. Kittur. Kittur of Belagavi district was a powerful state 2 centuries ago. It was known for its agriculture and commerce. Okay. Here, who is famous here, children? Kittur Rani Channamma. She was very famous, isn't it, children? She was woman freedom fighter, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, Rani Channamma of Kittur was the younger wife of Malla Sarja. She was younger wife of Malla Sarja. Who, children? Kittur Rani Channamma. The Desai of Kittur, both Malla Sarja and his son died. What happened? When she married, Rani Channamma married Malla Sarja. After what happened, children? What happened? The Desai of Kittur, both Malla Sarja and his son died. Rani Channamma adopted Shivalinga Sarja. After death of her son, what happened, children? Rani Channamma, she adopted Shivalinga Sarja and she started administering Kittur. Okay. The collector of Dharwad. Once again, listen here. Kittur Rani Channamma, she married Malla Sarja, the Desai of Kittur. Both after sometimes what happened? Some years. What happened, children? His her husband Malla Sarja and his son died. And then what happened? Rani Channamma, she adopted Shivalinga Sarja and she started administering Kittur. Okay. The collector of Dharwad, Thackeray, objected. Okay. He refused to the adoption as improper. He recommended the British government to take over the administration of Kittur. On hearing this, Channamma, when she heard this news, Channamma became extremely angry and she opposed the British policy of suppressing Kittur. Isn't it? The Britishers, they implemented so many policies in India. It means by these policies they captured Indian territories. Isn't it, children? Lapse of doctrine of lapse. Isn't it? Dattu makkalige hakkilla emba neetiyanna jarige tartare. So, according to this, what happened, children? Here Rani Channamma, she adopted Shivalinga Sarja, but British, they implemented policies. Which policies? Lapse of doctrine of lapse. doctrine of lapse. Okay, according to this policy, what happened? British, who had no son, this territory after this king, what happened, children? This territory captured by the Britishers. Okay, the Britishers, they captured this territory and they ruled directly in those territories. Okay, and then she opposed the British policy of suppressing Kittur and decided to fight for the freedom of her land, motherland. Thackeray, with an army of 500 soldiers, attacked Kittur, but Rani Chennamma, a fierce battle took place. Chennamma led her army and fought valiantly. The British army was shattered and Thackeray, hit by a bullet, died in the battle. This battle won by Kittur Rani Chennamma. She defeated the Thackeray and Britishers. The British army, after a while, besieged the fort of Kittur. Though Kittur had an army of just 6,000 soldiers, Rani fought against the huge British army for 3 days. It means a few traitors of Kittur betrayed her. Thus Kittur was defeated. The Britishers finally, they defeated the Kittur. They captured the Kittur. Chennamma was taken captive and imprisoned at Bailahangal. She continued to be in the prison for 5 years, secretly guiding and inspiring the people to carry on the freedom struggle. Rani Chennamma has earned immortal fame as the first Indian woman to have fought against the British in India. The valiant queen is remembered through folk songs which are sung even today also. Next we see Sangolli Rayana. Sangolli Rayana was a loyal follower of Rani Chennamma, a brave freedom fighter. He was a brave freedom fighter. He emerged from the rank of common people. After Chennamma's imprisonment, he assumed the leadership of Kittur province and organized an army. He attacked British officers and looted their treasures, adapted in guerrilla warfare. Rayana was like a frightening dream to the British. As the British could not defeat him, they resorted to foul means. They bribed a few persons who turned traitors. They captured Rayana by deceit and handed him over to the British. Soon Rayana and his associates were hanged. Before being hanged, Sangolli Rayana fell at the feet of his mother Kenchava, who had come to see him for the last time and got her blessing. Then he walked to the scaffold and with a smile on his face embraced death. All the martyrs were buried nearby. After the death of Sangolli Rayana, several others continued the revolts of Kitturu. One of Rayana's followers, Bichugatti Channabasappa, planted a seeding a banyan tree on the grave of Rayana. For many years thereafter, it is said that Channabasappa remained near the grave as a Bairagi. The banyan tree that he planted is seen even today also. After Rayana, many young people continued the spirit of Kodagu, the spirit of Kittur's revolt. Okay, thank you children.